Hello everyone, this is Seewing Yee. Thank you for attending this video presentation. And the topic of this presentation is interview with our property manager, Marilyn Kuzinski from Tampa, Florida, specifically from Central Florida, really, Orlando Metro and Tampa Metro. On behalf of Jean Gillum, our network realtor in Florida, we are presenting this presentation on three specific subdivisions: the Zephyr Hills, and Hudson and Giftington. And then I'm going to interview property manager Merlin, of course, and she has some very important things to say about the area and how is her involvement with respect uh, to these three areas that we're presenting. So with that in mind, I'm going to start off by talking first and foremost. Let's talk about Gibsonton first. So before we do that, the reason why I invited Marilyn, the property manager, to my presentation is, as you all know, the key for successful investing for out-of-state remote turnkey investors, such as our investors in here in California, is property manager. So property manager is such a key for the success and failure of your long-term investment success. So with that in mind, Marilyn, if you can briefly describe to us what is your background, how long you've been doing this, and your track record. Then we go. Yeah.
Sure. I've been in real estate for about 25 years. I've been focused in more the management side for about 20 years. I do, like you said, everywhere, basically Central Florida area, which covers from Orlando to Tampa. I typically follow the I-4 corridor, which we have many properties in the Tampa area, Winter Haven, Central Florida area. And I've been doing this, like I said, for about 20 years. I am a workaholic, so what I do, I love, which makes me very successful at what I do.
Yeah, great to hear that. By the way, for those of you that have been with my network for a while, we almost sold out the Winter Haven single family home subdivision, and we had a number of our network investors that purchased the Winter Haven subdivision, which is the builder is Highland Homes, and Marilyn has been managing the property, and she's the one that put the renters into those homes throughout the past year. Needless to say, Marilyn is a very important cog in our team. So with that in mind, since the Winter Haven subdivision is pretty much sold out, that's why Jim Gillum decided to promote three additional subdivision, as I said before, and two of them are managed by the builder Highland Homes, but the Hudson, Florida, is managed by Pioneer Homes, a different builder. But okay, now the first slide, again, I'm gonna have Merlin talk about a few minutes. The first slide, I have Gibsonton. I'm showing the slide just on the map of the Gibsonton as it relates to the Tampa Metro. So before Marilyn, before you share why Jim Gillum picked Gibsonton as a new construction, new build. By the way, all these new build constructions on these three areas that we're presenting, they are about 5 to 7 months completion time. So right now they are, just putting the initial plan into the lots and what have you. So Jean Gillum again decided to. She's not available right now. She's busy, but anyway. So Marilyn, can you? I'm seeing the map here. Gibsonton is located, somewhat like southeast of Tampa Metro. Fairly close. So why is Highland Homes is constructing brand new homes for our investors in Gibsonton, Florida? And if you share with the rest of the audience what is going on with Gibsonton.
Okay, if you look at the map, you see that there's water there. Okay, and that is the Tampa Bay. On the other side, where Largo and all that St. Petersburg is, that's the Gulf. And for many years, that area has been kind of undeveloped. And so what's happening is basically there's not a lot of land left in the Tampa area, so they're kind of bridging out a little bit. And the Gibson area is also going to be on that bay area, which would be really desirable because, you know, everybody likes to go to the beach. And so the beach in the bay is a lot cleaner area than on the Gulf. So the waters are like crystal blue, and the beaches are nice and white sand type area. And but yet you're still close enough. A lot of the people that live in that area work in the Tampa area. So it's still within a very reasonable ride to work in Tampa, but they don't want to live in the hustle bustle of the big city of Tampa. So, you know, that's the primary reason why Highland Homes has decided, you know, let's look a little close to Tampa, but not in Tampa. And to be honest, most people that are living in these areas now, they don't want to be inside those cities. They want to be outside of them. So that's why you're starting to see them branch out to the different locations outside of Tampa. So you're probably within probably 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes from the bay there. So, and it's a kind of a blue-collar working class area. So you are going to be very able to rent properties in that area.
Good. That's very good to hear. Yeah. By the way, on this particular PowerPoint, as I conclude this PowerPoint, Jim Gillum said this particular subdivision there will only be around 32 homes going to be built. So a rather small subdivision relative to the other subdivision that we are promoting with the other areas. So we will go over the pro forma of each of the three areas that we're gonna talk about later on in presentation. So now let's go on. Let's talk about the second subdivision that we are selling, which is the Stone Bridge at Chapel Creek, which is the Zephyr Hills area subdivision from Highland Homes. So the audience, you can see the map. As you can see, I'm showing you the map of Zephyr Hills, which is a little bit further away from Tampa Metro. I'm not exactly sure, to the east, which is kind of northeast of Tampa Metro, like 30 something miles. So with that in mind, Marilyn, same thing. Can you, from a big picture perspective, share with the audience what makes this particular subdivision, Highland Homes, is a good purchase for investors in this area?
Zephyr Hills is a super good area. They have A-rated schools, so what you're going to get there is, there again, like you said, it's not far from Tampa. Once again, they have you know, a lot of families that live in that area that will go there just strictly because of the school system. So your schools are what's going to draw you to the Zephyr Hills area. It is also kind of a quiet, quaint little area. Not a lot of hustle and bustle in that area also. And yet you're still close enough to Tampa and the 275 and 75, that is your main thoroughfare into Tampa. So you're within minutes to those two roads. So it's an easy job for them to get into Tampa to work. And also, if you notice on the map, it's not far from Lakeland. So you also pull from the Lakeland area. A lot of people that work in Lakeland will also live in Zephyr Hills. So it's kind of in the middle between Tampa and Lakeland, which gives you almost a double draw because you have a lot of industries in Lakeland. So, that draws from there. But yet then you have a lot of professionals that work in Tampa, because Tampa's a port city. Most of the people that live in Zephyr Hills are, don't want to be around that port city there again, because it's a hustle and bustle type area. So they want to be outside of that in a more quiet, rural type area over there.
Right. Yeah. Good to hear. So yeah, I'm also looking at the map, at Google Map. You're right. Zephyr Hills has a very good centralized strategic location. Tampa to the west, and Lakeland and Orlando to the northeast, so not very far away, maybe 1 hour's drive. So it's a very very good centralized location. So what I hear from you saying, Marilyn, is that because it's a good location, good schools, you will find many people going to move into this area for the foreseeable future, and you foresee the rental market will be very strong, and the tenant pool will be a wide selection of tenant pool that will very much willing to rent the homes in this subdivision. Is that correct?
Correct. We have some properties in Zephyr Hills and Wesley Chapel area, and when we put them on the market, we are flooded with people that want them. There has been times where I've even had them up listed at market value, and I've had renters come in and say, "I will pay you $150 more a month. I will pay the whole year. Will you let us have this home?" That's how desirable Zephyr Hills and the Wesley Chapel area is.
Very good, very good. Okay, now that we concluded this particular subdivision, let's go over to the last subdivision, which is at the city of Hudson. So let me pull out the slideshow that shows the map of Hudson from a Google map perspective relative to the area. So the Hudson is basically a little bit further north of the Tampa Metro, straight up north actually, a little bit further up, like maybe at least 30 miles north of Tampa Metro. So a little bit further away, kind of close to the ocean, to the Gulf of Mexico Ocean, around 5 miles from the beach area. So this is the builder is Pioneer Homes, not Highland Homes, that are building the pre-construction lots here. Also 5 to 7 months build time. So with that in mind, Marilyn, can you share with the audience why Jim Gillum picked Hudson, Florida subdivision as a potential purchase for single-family homes, new builds?
Correct. Hudson is, like you said, it's within 5 miles of the Gulf. So Hudson is a desirable area for a lot of retirees. So it's a very small, quaint little kind of country environment. And they do not have a lot of rentals in there, so which is going to make it perfect for an investor to put some rentals in there. Because if you look down below, you have Newport Richey. Newport Richey used to be a really good area for rentals, but it has become kind of a rougher area for the Tampa area. So a lot of the tenants, I believe, if they have a choice, they'll migrate up to Hudson, because Hudson's probably 20 minutes from the Newport Richey area. And this is more of an upper scale neighborhood also. I believe this one is gated and has a few amenities to offer over there. So I think that's going to be a definite draw for you. And there again, like I said, it's more of a retirement type area. So you're not going to have the competition like you would in other areas for the rental in there, because this is going to be something new for the Hudson area.
Good to hear. So what I hear you saying is that Hudson, although a little bit further away, the attractions are the beach is very close. It's a gated community, nice new construction homes, and a surrounding area a little bit upscale. than normal, which is a good thing. You have a higher price homes in the Hudson area and the surrounding area, with up to $300,000 to $400,000 from what I've researched and found out. So it appears this long term, this is an up and coming community, and to be able to buy an investment home for around $200,000 in these areas, I would say is a good value for all the three subdivisions we just talked about. Don't you agree?
Correct, I do. Correct.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we're not going to spend too much time. So now we're going to spend the next 10 to 15 minutes or so going to talk about, we're going to identify one property, one cash flow property, and the numbers with respect to all three subdivisions. So let me go ahead and open up let me go ahead and start with uh, the subdivision in Gilbertson. So, uh, Marilyn, are you looking at the same spreadsheet I'm looking at?
Yes.
Okay, so let's be very brief. So I'm just going to talk about this home in Gilberton is the Goldie plan. Square footage is 1,914 square foot. Is 201,900. 3 bedroom, 2 full bath. So it's quite large. So let me briefly describe this subdivision community has a dog park, kiddie park, pool, and more. There's 170 lots to be released in the next 5 to 7 months. There are additional 600 more houses to be built in this subdivision. So this particular subdivision, it appears to be very, very large. So the developers are typically raising the prices monthly. So there should be some nice appreciation once you lock in on your lot, and the builder going to build it for you in the next 5 to 7 months, hopefully. So let's talk about the numbers briefly. Then I'm going to have Marilyn talk about uh, uh, the, this property. So at a down payment on this home, uh, and then the rent is very interesting. I want to Marilyn talk about it a little bit. The projected rent on this type of homes, this $201,900 home, the projected rate is on the low side, as you can see, is 1,750. On the high side is $1,950. So if you put 25% down payment and you minus, your mortgage, taxes, insurance, property management fee, and all that stuff, the low monthly net cash flow, as you can see right here, is $488, and the high monthly net cash flow is $688. So I'm quite surprised and by the numbers in terms of rent. So Marilyn, from your perspective, what potential renter would want to rent this type of homes for and paying 750 to 1950 per month? I mean, a little bit. I mean, from the other homes that I presented over in my network history, it's very rare you will find a renter that willing to rent it for 1750 to 1950 on a $200,000 homes. So tell me what's from your perspective.
Okay, your price difference here is going to be what you're offering, what product that you're offering, and what time of the year that the property is going to be available. So if you're 7 months out, you're going to be hitting right about the right time to get the higher rents. And also, like I said, it all depends. Renters like nice things too. They just can't afford to buy them. So there's a couple of things that drives the higher rent price. You're going to need to put granite countertops in. That'll get you more money. Tenants like tile opposed to carpet. That'll get you more money. And I say tile opposed to carpet. You can put carpet in the bedrooms, but the tile in the main rooms. And the reason behind that is because Florida is a very sandy area. And one of the problems that we run into around here is that when you have carpet, they're constantly full of sand. And then at a certain point, they get behind the backing, and so you're constantly pulling sand up. So a tenant likes tile because it's easier to maintain. So that'll bring you more rent. It's not saying that if you put carpet in there that it's not going to rent. It is going to rent. It's just going to rent for a lower price. If you have the two properties side by side, they're always going to go for that tile floor in the main areas opposed to the carpet in the main areas. The other benefit to the tile is when you do a turn, after 2 or 3 years, when that tenant moves out, you're going to be replacing that carpet. I can guarantee it. Just the normal wear and tear because of the sandy area and the condition that we live in. Almost every time you do a turn, you're going to be replacing that carpet. So if you put tile in from the get-go, then that's going to help you when what we call a turn. After a tenant vacates, we turn the home and get it ready for the next tenant. If you put tile in from the get-go, your price of your turns down the road is going to be substantially lower than if you have to recarpet an entire area with a carpet in it. So that's another reason why I recommend that you just go ahead and do the tile from the get-go, because in the long run, every 3 to 5 years, you're going to be replacing that carpet. And in the bedrooms, your bedrooms don't get as much wear on the carpet as they do in your main areas, like your family rooms and living rooms and stuff like that. Another draw there is, there again, like I said, you're in the bay on this property instead of on the Gulf Coast. You're going to be in the bay, so you're within, I believe it's about 15 minutes from the bay area. So, and we all like to go to the beach. Every one of us that live here love to go to the beach. That's part of the reason why we live here. So, but there again, like I said, tenants like nice things, and you got to give them something that they can maintain. And when they return it to you, you're not going to be upset with the condition of the property. And I've seen the best tenant in the world live in a property, and 2 or 3 years later, like I said, they've cleaned the carpets, they've taken care of them. It's just the environment is very hard on carpets, and you're going to end up getting more money for your rent. That drives your upper rent. Also, your bathrooms. Another thing that tenants look at, believe it or not, is the master bath. They are now, a lot of them that I've seen lately, they're looking for that tub in the master bath. So I would spend my money doing an upgrade in the master bath, along with the granite countertops and the tile floors, and that will drive you to the upper price of the $19.50 opposed to the $17.50.
Wow.
Like I said, both of them is going to rent. It's just, how quickly is the one going to rent over the other one, and what type of tenant are you going to get for the price difference.
Yeah, well, Marilyn, you just provided some very valuable information, a very good perspective. Yeah, investor needs to understand this important information. But once you put yourself under contract, investors out there, you will during the construction phase, you will have an opportunity to work with Jim Gillum and the builder's agent. And they will help you. You have the opportunity to design the house like that you want. They could have a design center representative that can go over with you to determine how you're going to design the house that will meet your needs and meet the investor's needs. So yeah, a lot of great opportunity, a lot of incentives. So okay, let's go over the second cash flow property. This sounds real brief since I believe what Merlin just talked about is kind of applied to all the three subdivisions because all these homes in Hudson and Silver Hills and Gibsonton, they're kind of almost same square footage, almost the same price, same design of the subdivision. So it's not necessary for Marilyn to repeat what you just said with respect to fixing up your house that will exceed the renter's needs. But so we only have about 5 minutes left on this presentation, and so let's go over the numbers. This is this cash flow analysis is in Hudson, Florida, the Pioneer Home Subdivision. Again, the square footage is a St. Thomas floor plan, 1,972 square foot. It's quite large. It's priced at $209,900, and 3 bedroom, 2 full bath, 2 car garage. Same thing, 25% down payment. At the end of the day, you have a estimated rent from $1,800 to $2,000, and estimated net cash flow of monthly $442 to $642. So very, very attractive rent to price ratio, almost at 1%. You know what I'm talking about. 1% rent to price ratio is very critical. And so briefly, can you share anything else with this floor plan in this Hudson, Florida subdivision, Maryland?
Well, with this Hudson property, it's a little bit different because the builder, Pioneer, gives you your granite kitchen. And it also, the thing that I like about Hudson too is, remember I said it's kind of a retirement community over there. Well, one of the things that the HOA does there is they maintain the lawn. They also water the lawns and maintain the lawn, which is huge. You know, most people that are retired, they don't want to be bothered with, you know, on the property. So to me, that's huge, you know, alone. And for them to hire somebody to do the lawn service, you're looking at probably about $150 a month. So that's going to be extremely attractive to a renter, whether they are a retired renter or if they're a family renter. Them not having to maintain the lawn over there and being so close to the beach, that's, you know where I'm thinking they're going to be on the beach on the weekends.
Wow, good, very, very good information. So, yeah, and finally, I'm going to show the cash flow analysis on the Zephyr Hills. This one is the Holly plan. Square footage is 1,679, a little bit smaller. It's priced at $199,900. If you put 25% down payment on this, minus your mortgage, taxes, insurance, and property management fee, and the projected rent is fairly similar. The low side is $1,700. The high side of the rent is $1,900. So you will get a monthly net cash flow between low of $395 per month or the high of $595 per month. So with that in mind, Merlin, what is your perspective on this particular floor plan here at Zephyr Hills subdivision?
This subdivision, there again, is geared towards families. If you notice, this one has the kiddie park and the pool. If a tenant can't have a pool, and most tenants that have a pool, it's usually disastrous unless the owner's willing to maintain it. So this having a community pool is a great feature and a great draw to the family because they are not close to the beach. Now, they're not far. They're probably within 45 minutes to an hour to go to the beach. But that pool, for them to entertain their families on the weekends, is going to be huge for that community.
Yeah, good to know. Very good to know. All right, I think we almost concluded. Let me do one more thing here before I let everybody go. So what I'm trying to find Merlin's information on the inside the slideshow. She's in here somewhere. So and let's kind of do this before we checked out. Well, where are you? Let's try over here. Just bear with me, Merlin. We're almost done.
Okay.
Huh. Where they have you or your information on one of this PowerPoint. I know it's on, your name's on here. Just give me a second here, and we're almost done. Here you are. Here's Marilyn information for you folks out there that are watching this video. Marilyn Kuzinski is a licensed realtor and property manager, and her phone number is right here, 407-247-8559, and her email address is marilyn at flahomes.net. So can you conclude this presentation, Marilyn? Again, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to speak with my investors. And can you summarize what we talked about and why you feel these three subdivisions and the Tampa area in general with respect to the future
Tampa
growth?
is a growing area. It's always it's kind of been, like I said, more of a port area, so that's the reason why you're seeing them kind of go outside of the area. There is buku jobs going on in there. You have the oil manufacturers up there. You have a lot of industrial. So you have a lot of professional people that work there. You also have a lot of blue-collar people that work there. And they really don't want to live inside the city limits of Tampa. So this is a great opportunity, I would think, for anybody. And I think when you go to resell these properties, you're going to be very satisfied with the resale value that you get out of them. So I think it's a win-win situation for you all the way around. I think the only thing that you need to decide is, what type of client you really want to rent to and where you want to be. I like the fact that, they are smaller communities. Except for the one in Zephyr Hills, but then you've got the school system up there. That alone is going to sell your rental market right there. That's going to drive that rental market. And I've noticed that people, want to live outside of, the metropolitan areas like Orlando and Tampa, honestly, because the rents are higher in those areas, and the product that they are getting is not as great as the product that you're going to offer them in these other areas. So, in my opinion, you're going to be in a great time of the year. You're going to be closing around March. And so you've got people that's getting their tax returns back around that time of the year. So that starts our heavy rental market. And that runs from March to the end of August. So I think that, that alone will help you, rent the properties quick. And like I said, you've got schools on one, then you've got the bay on the other one, and then you've got a retirement area on the third one. So I don't think any one of these three would be a bad decision.
Wow, great to hear that, Marilyn. From your perspective, again, Marilyn has been a very successful property manager. She know all the locations, all the neighborhoods all over Central Florida, in particular Tampa area. Because I have a very good relationship with Marilyn. We talk almost every week, so I value Marilyn's expertise as a property manager, and you should too. So I'm very excited to. Gene Gillum and myself, we're very excited to continue to promote these areas, and we have a lot of pre-construction lots available. So if you guys are interested, do your research and due diligence. You may even contact Marilyn if you wish to get more information. Otherwise, look forward to working with all of you out there, and look forward to help you guys buy properties in this great brand new single-family home, new construction, new build areas for future growth, great cash flow, and great long-term investment as well. Thank you so much, Marilyn, for taking time out of your day. You've been extremely helpful, and thank you very much. And have a nice day, everyone. Good day.
Bye now.
Okay, bye-bye.